IIoT in automotive, since I belong from automotive industry, it is my, one of my responsibility to share with you what how automotive industry is going to grow. So whether it is, facilitating cars with ecosystem to provide features on real-time applications. So we have the devices with sensors and environment. Then we have the connectivity space, and then we have the software-based protocols where the dashboards and the analytics and other things will be working upon. These can be combined. So IoT is not single-handedly going to transform the business. It will also combine with artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and virtual reality, wearables, and robotics. All these four technologies, along with IoT, will going to be transforming the entire auto space. So whether we talk about connected cars, whether we talk about process optimization and new business models, all will be handled through this ecosystem. And these are some of the examples. So say for an example, asset management and maintenance, factory wide performance management system. So in factories we try to measure the productivity, the quality, the safety, the defects, the human efficiency. All these things can be tracked by these IoT devices and IoT systems. Also we have asset tracking, like the machines, their health parameters, when the machine can go down, when the machine can go up, when the machine needs maintenance. All these things can be tracked through this. So this is a value stream mapping for the entire auto industry, starting from the ancillary to a product company to the entire ecosystem. So look at this situation where IoT will be impacting more is manufacturing, where smart factory is there, in the telematics solution where logistics is there. So telematics is basically talking about the transportation and tracking of the vehicles. So one vehicle is moving from the supplier to and going to the OEMs. It can track where is it, how far it has gone, how long it will take to reach the OEM space or the gate of the person, when the person is expected to receive the material. All these things are done through a telematic solution. And the third area is connected cars, where the cars can talk with each other. They can avoid the collision, they can avoid accident, they can look at driver behaviors, they can look at many other stuff through the IoT devices. This is the visibility of a smart manufacturing and smart supply chain, starting from your receiving to the suppliers, to receiving, to replenishment, to toolings, to quality control, maintenance, production, and shipping. The entire process, as I told you, will be done through a MES platform. MES is nothing but manufacturing execution system, which is actually a subset of the IoT and industrial IoT part, which basically does the advanced planning and advanced optimization for your planning processes. And this is the IoT architecture for any of the plants, where in the baseline we have the sensors and the actuators which collects the data. Then you have the SCADAs and PLCs, which are the machines from where the information is going to come to us. Then you have manufacturing operations management system, which is nothing but the MES layer I just talked to you like that, which looks about my planning, scheduling, tracking, and all these other activities. Then I have the ERP system, whether it is SAP, Oracle, or Ramco, or any other ERP application. And finally, I have the BI, or the business intelligence layer, which is nothing but the dashboard where I can see the the imported reports of all the activities which are going on. So this is basically the 5-layered architecture in terms of IoT. Uh, some of the perspectives I just wanted to share here on IoT projects, some of the advantages. So basically, IoT or digital is a new normal. The board members or the top management awareness and interest is extremely important. Investor has to drive and for the smart enterprise. It cannot happen that the IT people are only talking about I want to have a smart enterprise. The investors and the stakeholders have to drive this area. Customer expectation has to be there. So customer also have to drive the requirement of IoT. Technology has to be available. Many times technologies are not available. And also one more important thing is the user and consumer experience is very, very important. Apart from that, competitive advantage has to be there. Otherwise I will not invest in IoT technologies. It has to be low cost of operation. Many times what happens is the technology cost does not give me the right return of investment. So if I need some returns on investment, it does not suffice to that. So this is very, very important. There are many challenges, starting from skills, starting from return on investment, industry specific use cases, function specific use cases, user awareness, adoption, and budgets and training, and blah blah blah. This is a government initiative. If you see, so far we were talking about industry and consumer IoT and stuff like that. What is government talking about? Government has 9 pillars of digital India, so which they are talking about continuously, which are nothing but government to citizen initiatives. And these 9 pillars are actually continuously working under Ministry of IT, Ministry of Planning, and Niti Aayog, and other people are actually working on this. Then there is an initiative called Skill India, which is talking about improving the skills of the people. And then we have Make in India, which is nothing talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat and making everything in India. And finally, the initiative is Samarth Udyog. What is Samarth Udyog? It is nothing but Industry 4.0. So government also has an initiative called Samarth Udyog, and they invest money through Niti Aayog and the banks and stuff like that. People who open startups in IoT, or they want new business ventures, they help also in getting orders from the foreign markets and the exports market.